Welcome back to Business Tune. Let's dive in. September 15th, 2008, 1:45 a.m., and Dick Fuld, CEO of Lehman Brothers, sat in his corner office watching 158 years of history collapse. And by morning, Lehman would file the largest bankruptcy in American history, $600 billion evaporated. But while Dick Fuld watched his empire crumble, another group of people were making the biggest bets of their lives, and they were about to become extraordinarily rich. That same weekend, Warren Buffett was in Edmonton, Canada, and his phone rang. It was Lehman Brothers, desperate, dying, needing billions immediately. And Buffett said, "Send me a fax, describe what you want, and tell me how much you'll pay." He went to dinner, came back, no fax. Turns out they left a voicemail on his flip phone, but he didn't know how to check it. And by the time his daughter found it the next summer, Lehman was dead. But here's the twist. Even if Buffett got that message, he wouldn't have invested because he'd already looked at Lehman's reports, page after page of red flags, billions in toxic assets, and he made his decision no. Sunday morning, another call, AIG running out of money tomorrow, needing $85 billion. And Buffett looked at the numbers and said no again. And by Monday, Lehman was bankrupt. AIG got bailed out, and most people panicked, sold everything, watched their accounts drop 40%, 50%, 60%. But not everyone panicked. 2005, a guy named Michael Burry was analyzing mortgage data, and something didn't add up. People with no income getting $500,000 loans, subprime borrowers who couldn't afford payments, and banks were selling these as AAA rated, safe as government bonds. Burry saw the truth. These were ticking time bombs. So he bet against them, spent millions on credit default swaps, and his investors thought he was crazy, tried to pull their money out, called him an idiot. For 2 years, nothing happened. Then 2007 mortgages started defaulting. By 2008, the market collapsed and Burry made over $100 million personally. His fund made $700 million. John Paulson saw the same thing, went even bigger, raised billions to bet against housing. And when 2008 hit, he personally made $4 billion in 1 year. October 2008, Buffett makes his move, invests $5 billion into Goldman Sachs, $3 billion into GE. Everyone thought he was crazy, but 5 years later, Goldman Sachs alone made him $3.7 billion in profit. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. San Francisco, 2008. Two broke designers, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, can't pay rent, so they rent out air mattresses to conference attendees, make $1,000. Not a real business, just a hustle. Then the economy collapses, hotels too expensive, people need cheaper options, homeowners need extra income, and Airbnb becomes the solution. By 2011, it's exploding today, worth over $70 billion, born in a recession. General Electric, founded during the panic of 1893, IBM, grew during the Great Depression. Disney released Snow White in 1937. Middle of the Depression, Microsoft and Apple. During the 1975 recession, Uber, WhatsApp, Venmo, Instagram, all after 2008. Recessions don't kill opportunity, they create it. Robert Kiyosaki said, "I made more money after 2008 than in my entire life before it." How real estate bought properties at 50% discounts, rented them out, waited for prices to recover. Those $150,000 properties were $300,000 5 years later. The wealth didn't disappear, it just moved from people forced to sell to people with cash to buy. Walmart, Dollar Tree, Netflix, Hasbro, McDonald's all thrived during 2008. Why? Because people trade down, need cheaper options, still want entertainment and relief. Here's what most people don't understand. Recessions don't destroy wealth. They transfer it from the unprepared to the prepared, from the emotional to the rational, from the over-leveraged to the cash-heavy. So here's your playbook. Build 6 to 12 months, cash reserves, kill your bad debt, fix your credit score, Learn to value assets, build recession-proof skills, start your opportunity fund separate from emergency savings. 2008 housing crashes, house worth $400,000, selling for $200,000. You buy it, rent it out for $1,500 a month. Wait, by 2020, it's worth $450,000. You just made $250,000. March 2009, S&P 500 at 666. Everyone's terrified you invest $10,000 by 2020. It's worth $60,000. That's 6 times in 11 years. Here's the truth. The work happens before the crash, not during when everyone's spending, you're saving, when everyone's leveraging, you're paying down debt, when everyone's partying, you're learning. 2025 recession indicators are flashing. I'm not saying panic, I'm saying prepare. Because when it comes, you want to be Warren Buffett on that call, calm, ready, making moves while everyone else is frozen. Dick Fuld lost everything. Burry made $100 million. Paulson made $4 billion. Buffett made billions. Same crisis, different outcomes. Why preparation? Recessions transfer wealth from the unprepared to the prepared. That's not theory, that's history. Every single recession, same pattern. Stop fearing the next downturn, start preparing for it, because recessions made more millionaires than lottery tickets ever did, not because of luck, because of preparation. That's it for today. See you next time.